South Africa has improved to 56 out of 83 mining jurisdictions for its attractiveness to foreign investment. This is according to the recently published Fraser Institute survey of mining companies in 2018. But what does that really mean for South Africa's restive labor market, expropriation of land without compensation, and the reticent mining capital? Mashiqana again sits down with South Africa's enigmatic Mines Minister, Gwede Mantashe.
How many cases of negligence in the mining sector have been found? Because in 2017, for example, we saw a huge incline on deaths at mines, and some others were rather questionable, if I could say. Those investigations, what have they proved?
No, in 2018, there were 3 disasters: the Driefontein, the Kloof, the Palabora one. One of the disasters that come to my mind easily is the one of an acting chief boss who opened a closed section without checking the level of flammable gases and pulled a team in there, and that team was burned to death in that section. Now, when you do that, by law, the first person to be charged is that ship boss who entered that place. Before you come to the CO, you start with that ship boss, because that's negligence. You don't go to a closed section. In the mine, we call it Madala site. You don't take people to the Madala site without checking the level of methane, the level of other flammable gases. If you do that, you are negligent, you'll have to be arrested. So all I was explaining, and I continue to explain, is that you can't have a rule about arrest. You must have a rule about negligence and punish negligence. Number 2, you must have an objective that is not arresting. The objective should be zero harm in the industry.
And Minister, in terms of policy certainty in the industry, we saw a slight improvement with the introduction of the revised mining charter. Just take us through that.
It's not slight, 25 spots improvement, moving from 81 to 56. You can't call that slight.
We're still not number 1, Minister.
Yes, I agree. But you can't call slight, 25 spots. But there is some improvement. The improvement is that when you gazette that charter, investors know exactly what to expect. That's the first thing. Because investors are not influenced by what they love and what they like. They want to be sure what the rules are. Once you are certain with the rules, then the investors will be attracted. We must deal with that. You must remember that we are to have the amendments of the MPRDA put on hold. And those amendments are still in Parliament. We're hoping that when the Parliament rises, they will lapse. But what is more important is that we're working on a new legislative framework for the petroleum sector. Now, you separate petroleum from mining. And my own view is that once we do that carefully, we will do 2 things. There will be certainty. Mining will deal with rules that are applicable to mining. Petroleum will have its own rule, and we are likely to establish a new powerful sector, the petroleum sector, that is oil and gas. If we establish that sector, it will have a huge impact on the economy, its growth, and its performance.
Now, another issue that had actually arisen from policy uncertainty in the mining industry that we saw back in 2017 was mining job losses, others not really attributed to that, but to some challenges in the industry. What improvement here in the country have you seen in terms of mining job losses?
Actually, in 2018, mining had a net gain in employment. But that is not the issue. The issue is, if you open new mines, let's say in the collieries, and open new mines in chrome mines or manganese mines, and you have huge job losses in gold, it's good in those areas where you have increase in job creation. But the impact of job losses in that gold mining area has its own social problems in that area. So that's why we should manage every mineral with its specifics and talk to the impact on the area where it is. If, for example, Sibanye has just announced potential retirement of 6,000 workers, and my own view is that if you do that, you are going to create a disaster both in the Carltonville, Western area and the Free State. We should engage them. They must come to us in terms of Section 52. They will talk to unions in terms of Section 189. We can't allow 6,000 job losses. It will be a disaster.
Speaking of Sibanye and the shedding of those more than 6,000 jobs, Minister Mantashe, the standoff between the Association of Mine and Construction Union and Sibanye has been going on for close to 4 months right now. What has been your intervention in this issue? Now,
I've been talking quietly to both of them. But what I don't want to do, because you learn from previous mistakes, you know. Minister Gwede Mantashe jumped into a dispute in the platinum sector and said, I will resolve it quick. It went for 5 months, almost, throwing an egg at Minister Gwede Mantashe's face. What I have opted for is that labor disputes are in the jurisdiction of the Minister of Labor, because that minister has the machinery, CCMAs, they can provide arbitration and mediation facilities. I must express appreciation on the efforts put by the Archbishop of Cape Town to try to pull Sibanye and AMCU together. And all those interventions are important, but what you cannot manage is personality clash. When people just fight and begin to close their mind to any ideas. I'm hoping that they will settle that dispute within a short space of time, because we need to settle that dispute so that they focus on preserving the jobs in the industry. One of the things that is not mentioned a lot, you see, when we're talking about the accidents in the industry, we say that 2 other categories that needs to be looked into. The first one is illegal mining, which is a criminal activity. We must begin to compile statistics for that area. Secondly, is the question of violent strikes, where people get killed during the strike, because that continues. In this strike, a number of people have been killed. Nobody talks about that. It's a serious matter, because killing other people because you're on strike, you have a right to strike, is actually a criminal activity. Those are the 2 other areas that need to be looked into.